I am recording.
All right, so welcome back. First thing to note for you as players, of course, you guys know that David is not here this week. For this session, the way I plan on just doing it is Talifac's going to be following your lead. He's going to be very quiet and reflecting inwardly. So he's not comatose. If you move or go somewhere, he'll follow you. He's just going to be preoccupied mentally, if that makes sense.
Yep.
He's not going to be adding much to any conversations at all.
He hasn't been lately. He's a mute.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Also, he has this weird sword that's talking
No,
to him.
I just realized though he's going to go from literally answering no one from your player's point of views to pretty much not talking at all.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so that out of the way, you guys were deciding your next step.
Yes. And if I recall correctly, we wanted to do a few things before we actually put the gem into this device.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd rather not run on a 24-hour time limit right away, yeah.
Yeah. So, a few of the things that we have to do, we have to get the head, at the very least, which contains the code that we need to put into the terraformer machine from here to Heart. So it's prepped for when we want to do that. We need
to repair our ship.
Well, yeah. But we need another gem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you guys are willing to do a trip back and forth, and you're willing to wait for Lucas to semi-quickly dig a hole to the surface, we could do it that way.
Yeah, I'd rather do it that
probably
than go through the Palladium way.
Yeah. Because that's going to be dangerous.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Are you guys Shawshank Redemptioning this?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't think
sort
what
of.
Lucas is going to do was in the goddamn Shawshank Redemption, but sure.
Okay, so you're making
Ain't no
your
picture of Rita Hayworth either, so.
You're making your own path. That's neat.
Essentially.
That is new. That is information that I am pleased and unknown.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Lucas, do your thing.
all right. So Lucas ponders to himself a bit, and he snaps his fingers, and he turns to and kind of goes, "All right, this may sound stupid, but hear me out. What if you guys meet me up on the surface? I'm gonna dig a hole from here, somewhere not here, to the surface.
How will we
Hopefully
find
away
you?
from the town. I'm gonna be the big colorful thing in the gray mess."
Isaac is just going to look at Xavier and shrug.
Xavier will say, first things first, before I'm going out the way we came, is that we need to find out if that Palladium's still there or not. So,
Yeah.
I say we saunter ourselves over, creep up, by the entranceway, that little strange door, and see if we can't hear some really heavy freaking breathing. What do you say?
Sounds like
Yeah.
a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Lucas skips down.
Wait. When you do burrow yourself out of here, can you take this one's head with you?
Would you like it still attached to the body or not?
Either works. Choose.
I'm gonna try to keep it intact. It might be heavy, but I'll try.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right.
Yeah, he's just walking.
So, Lucas, you'll know at some point if you try to pick up the robot, it's about 200 pounds. So,
Oh, you a heavy boy.
So definitely, I mean, your character, I'm sure, can lift more than 200 pounds. It would be a struggle to carry it a long distance, but it's not impossible.
Lucas knows this well.
Lucas looks at himself and says, I bet I could carry about this many pounds. All right. You creep up to the entrance. Is it fair to say you guys think you've been down here for about an hour, maybe two?
That's up to you, GM. But yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I just want to make sure that I'm not
Oh, I'm sure if you're like, you've been here for 7 hours, you'd be like, what the fuck do you mean 7 hours?
You've been here for 2 weeks. I'm like, the fuck? What happened?
That would be an interesting plot device, but no unknown unconsciousness for your character. So
you've been away for 50 years.
You don't hear any heavy breathing from outside.
Okay. That's good news. It's really good news.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have, unless Lucas would say there's a reason not to, I'm going to have Talavex stay with Lucas. Sure. And he's just going to be quiet and follow Lucas wherever he goes.
Question.
Okay.
Is this a path?
No. No. You guys have explored.
It will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is just a closed off area. It's a path on the map I stole, but it's not in this cave.
Stole.
All right.
Wow.
Lucas will definitely think this is a good place.
Still authorization. Still.
Still.
Oh yeah, still.
Okay, so first things first. You guys don't hear any heavy breathing, so Xavier and Isaac, you are headed back up to the top.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
It'll take you guys about a good 45. Well, I suppose I do have to ask. Excuse me. Are you pushing yourselves to get out of this area? In other words, you will physically exert yourselves for speed.
I would.
Or are you okay?
I definitely would not like to be here when the Palladium comes back.
Yeah, so I want to exert myself.
Got it.
We can't be caught with our friggin' pants down halfway up that goddamn thing.
Got it.
And he could be back at any moment. Yeah, exert.
You guys, oddly enough, it takes you about the same amount of time to get up that it did to get down. You got down there in about half an hour. You can get up in about the same amount of time. You're going to be winded. It's going to be pushing your body. It's a cardio workout. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But you can certainly get up to the entrance where you get to that small ridge in about 30 minutes if you push yourselves.
Okay.
Great. I'd rather burn some calories than be at Palladium's calories.
Mm-hmm.
Eloquently put. So you guys get to the ridge. I'm assuming you would shimmy all along back the side of it. It's still nighttime. It's actually in the early morning hours now, probably around 3 or 4.
Okay.
And there's no light as far as you can tell on the city, except for maybe a few what look like maybe torches or golden lights way up, and every once in a while dotted somewhere.
Taking a deep breath, Xavier will say, okay, first we catch our breath. Second, since I know we won't need these, and he'll point to the replica guns that him and Isaac have, I say we go back to where we got these from and get some of our stones back as far as reimbursement. Then maybe we can case the place out a little bit, and or at least talk with her and see, what could be bartered for that gem. The only problem is that we have absolutely no idea where Lucas is going to hang out. But if we hang around here when daylight comes, I'm pretty sure this is still the trespassing area.
Yeah.
So if we are going to wait for Lucas, we got to go back to the main road at the very least, right?
Yeah, he said that he's going to try and pop out outside. So we should probably get to the van after we get some stones back. Actually, I think I'm gonna change back into my tattered clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can probably sell the armor back or something.
Okay.
I have a question though
All right.
for the DM.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So, way back when we first got here, we cut off one of the robot's heads, if I recall
Yes.
correctly.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Is it
Correct.
okay if Isaac brought it along with him?
Sure.
Okay.
When you go up the crack, there would be moments or times where you have to pull yourself up with both hands. So he probably, I would assume, has it dangling from his belt or something, like some weird, gruesome trophy head. But
Yeah.
yes, you would need both your hands from time to time, but there's no reason why you can't juggle a head somehow.
Okay.
It's a really weird thing to say.
Then when we get back to where the box is stashed, Isaac is going to change back into his other clothes and toss all of the pistols, the armor, and the head, along with the rapiers, back into the box.
Got it.
Along with whatever Xavier wants to put back into the box. Then
Nothing. I'm gonna get a change of clothes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just gonna return the gun that I have.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna change my clothes because they're all sweaty and dirty.
Yeah.
So,
and
that's it.
then we'll just take the box with us to that merchant when we want to see her.
Okay. Lucas, did you have any of the merchant stuff on you, or was it just Lucas extraordinaire?
Merchant stuff.
The pistols,
Remember
the
the
rapiers, the
pistols?
armor.
Oh,
yes.
that? No, he didn't
Okay.
take any of those things.
Yep.
A Talavac would give you his rapier back because he's got a replacement, but he's going to hang on to the armor. Probably under the he'd probably mumble something about still might be dangerous or something.
Yeah.
So you guys have everything you got from the merchant with the exception of Talavac still wearing that armor.
Yep.
All right.
Groovy.
Okay. Do you guys mind if I go over to Lucas for a moment?
Yeah.
Go nuts.
All right. So Lucas, I am titillated. What are you doing?
Lucas is currently having his tongue out, one eye open, and currently has both of his hands in a box shape looking at this wall.
His tongue out, one eye open. Okay. All right.
He's basically picture framing this wall.
Got it.
He goes, perfect, claps his hands, starts rubbing it together, and in the next 15 seconds, he's going to cast 2 spells.
Okay.
It is the same spell. He's going to cast the well-known and fan favorite Chattering Teeth.
Oh my god.
So let me double check exactly. Oh my god! Of all the times I did not have his freaking character sheet. What is your level, Isaac? Because I believe I'm the same one.
7.
My level is level 7.
Yes, you're
Okay,
on level 7
so-
right now.
"49 chattering teeth pour out of Lucas's pockets and little cracks along the walls and pathways. Large, I think. Just a ton of them come out, and Lucas then changes into his Napoleonic clothing, his white bristling golds around him, and going to go, all right, men, we don't have much time to dilly-dally, as he marches back and forth between this semi-filed line of teeth. We are challenged to dig a hole rather quickly. It looks like our friends are moving quite fast. We need to not waste any time. This wall and the rest of it will be your challenge. Dig! dig upwards at a rather kind of like a 45-degree angle, something like that, towards that direction as he points this way.
Okay.
Many of you may not survive this, but probably you will. I mean, it's not that dangerous, it's digging. But you do this for the motherland as he shakes his fist.
I need to know a few things. Thing number one, how big of a pathway do you want to make?
These things are rather large, so let's see, 50 by 50? No,
Wait.
I think that'd be too big.
How large are the teeth again? They're not like normal human size, right? They're bigger.
I believe they're bigger. Let me triple check exactly how big these things are. They can leap 5 feet. They're not actually 5 feet. They're 5
Oh, good
feet
God,
back.
no!
The size is 8 inches.
Okay, so actually, they are a little bit, maybe twice the size of a human mouth.
So let's see. Let's say they're about, let's just say half foot. So let's say 20 by 20. I think that should be fine.
Okay. I will let you know, and you can adjust accordingly. So here's the issue when it comes to time wise. Your teeth are mega damaged teeth. They can most certainly dig through the wall.
Well, they're not mega damage.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They're STC. They can chomp through the wall no matter what. That's not a problem. The problem that's going to be slowing you down time-wise is removing what they chomp. You're going to have a conga line because they have to get rid of you have to move the rock out of the way, basically.
Yeah, I think 10 feet by 10 feet might be
Okay.
better.
So 10 feet by 10 feet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course, there's going to be a lot of them. They move actually rather quickly.
Yes. So I'm trying to think in my head here. You're gonna have to go if you want to tunnel outside the city, which is what I believe Lucas is going for.
Yeah.
The city is about a mile across. You're not going across the whole thing, so think about half a mile out, and probably about a good half a mile up, to get to the outer wall. I would say. Roll me 1d4.
Okay. The one for you.
Yeah, it's gonna take you about an hour to do it. It's going to be rather loud, but
No, these are a good majority of them, at least the ones at the front, are buzzsaw-like in their sound.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to these teeth, for whatever reason, maybe it was the speech you gave them, they jump to it with gusto and begin tearing through the wall in front of you to the point where small rocks and pebbles begin flying past you.
Lucas goes excellent as he actually helps out from time to time, picking up rocks when handed them or teethed them, I guess.
And these things, I forget, they last until they're destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well then, while you're doing that, let's switch back to actually, no, I'm trying to think about this realistically here. You're going to be getting out of the city about the same time that Isaac and Xavier are changing into their other clothes, a little bit later than that. So probably about the time. I assume Isaac and Xavier, your plan from when you changed clothes was to go to the merchant again.
Correct.
Yep.
So basically, you're gonna tunnel out of the city about the same time they arrive around that merchant's place. It's late in the evening. Like I said, let's say we're on 4 now, so it's still early in the morning, but sunrise is maybe 2 hours away.
Okay.
And we'll shoot back to Xavier and Isaac.
Well, if it's not even daytime yet, I mean, if it's not even Like, isn't there like a bell or a chime or some stupid gong when business hours start?
Yes, sir. Right around 6 a.m. when the sun rises.
Have we heard the gong yet?
No.
Then we have to wait for the gong. So
All right.
I don't know what to do for 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
We can just handle it narratively. If there's anything you guys want to say or do during that time, let me
No.
know. Otherwise, we can just skip ahead. Catch your breaths. You catch your breaths.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's fair to say if you take an hour or two to sit down and rest, you should recover most of the energy that you expend.
Great.
So as the sun slowly rises and it's overcast as it usually is, the only way that you know the sun is rising is that you slowly start being able to see things. Eventually, after about 2 hours of waiting, you hear the gonging chimes of the city, and almost as if it was a switch, people start coming out of their homes and flooding into the street, and the noise of the town begins. It turns into a bustling, buzzing sound. And
We knock on the door.
okay. You would hear a very sleepy, just a moment, and you hear a bunch of shuffling. Sounds like something like wood hitting wood every once in a while. Get closer and closer to the door, and then the door finally opens, and you see a very tired Levine staring at you through the door. What is it?
Isaac looks over to Thedo.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It happened.
Oh no!
The rapture.
Levine's eyes widen as Thedo disappears. Isaac is left standing there, befuddled.
Should we wait for him?
Yeah, we'll wait an appropriate amount of time. Otherwise, Isaac might have to do some talking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make an important note. Very quickly after he's out of his suit, he's back into his desert one, so he doesn't get it dirty.
Got it. I'm with you. I just like to imagine that Thedo just disappears and then reappears near Lucas. What?
Oh, you're already out of the hole, I see. Wait a minute, I think I'm coming back in. Poof. I'm not getting enough sleep.
That's true. You guys would be very tired because you haven't slept since 24 hours ago. Well, not very tired. You're adventurers, but you couldn't handle too many more days without some sleep.
Well,
Lucas is actually going to catch some shut-eye for a bit while he waits for his friends.
Nope. None of the other characters know this, but Isaac is fairly damn young. He's only 23, so he has a little bit of energy, I would think.
I wish I was like that when I was from the moment I hit 18. I loved sleep.
Yeah,
I loved sleep when I was a kid, so whatever.
sleep is great.
I mean, at that age, you're supposed to be able to survive on 6 hours of sleep a night. I couldn't do that. No bueno. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. I'm sure he'll be back soon. It's probably just an internet hiccup.
1 second. Let me finish this granola bar.
Okay then.
Very
Levine
important.
stares widely as as Thedo disappears and Isaac stands munching on a granola bar. I'm sorry, the image in my head is just hilarious.
Lucas has a liter mug, slowly sipping his morning tea.
like Isaac isn't phased at all that Thedo just disappeared. He's just slowly munching.
Oh yeah, that happens. Anyways.
Yes. She goes, yes, what is it?
I do believe we have business to conduct.
She kind of looks and blinks a few times and then goes, oh, right. Well, come right in. Come
Yeah.
right in.
Okay. Isaac is gonna go in and
And she'll say,
dragging
close the door behind you.
dragging Thado as well.
Yes.
Isaac is going to close the door and lock it, and shut the blinds. Then head over to a table and put the big crate on it.
Okay. Her eyes will widen as you put the crate on it, and she'll go, "You carried it through the town?"
Well, yeah, it was at night.
She literally reaches up, because Isaac is much taller than her, and reaches up above her head and thumps Isaac on the head, going, "The whole point was so you didn't have to carry them through the town. You're lucky you weren't arrested."
Sorry.
No matter now. No one saw you?
No, not from what I saw. I mean, we were standing outside of this house for like 2 hours.
She sighs, and it's like her shoulders kind of untense, and then she starts hobbling back towards the counter. "Well, what did you find, boy?"
Well, found a lot of rather interesting things. Unfortunately, there wasn't another gem.
I see. What interesting things did you find?
Well, we encountered a few of the, and he's going to put up quotation marks, gods.
She raises an eyebrow at that.
He's going to pop open the trunk, make sure that the windows are closed, and then put the robot head on top of the trunk.
She'll stare at it, and then look to you, and look back at it, and look to you. Am I missing something? Is it like a statue head? Did you find statues down there?
No, this is a robot. I mean,
A what?
a robot.
She just looks at you blankly.
An artificial construct that is man-made and is made to look like a human.
So a statue.
That usually moves, but this one is broken because, of course, it doesn't have its head.
When you say that part, her eyebrows raise again. It moves.
Yes.
Interesting. But I'm assuming, as you said, that one no longer moves because it doesn't have its head. She comes over and she looks at it, and she kind of taps its rusty metal head, and she goes, "This thing looks incredibly old and broken."
Yeah.
She sighs, and she goes, "I was hoping you'd find something interesting, something that I could maybe use or sell, or another gem. That would have been marvelous."
That would have. Out of character, is there anything that I can do to this head that might make it like move or have lights turn on or something with any of my skills?
Roll me an armor check, if you would, please.
Armor check? Okay.
Yeah. Or do it as a basic mechanics, because I think you get basic mechanics at a penalty or something like that, right?
No. My general mechanics is 54 and armor is 44.
Oh, okay. Well, then do general mechanics then.
Okay. I succeed by 20.
Okay. You know that this thing without a power source is basically a doorstop. And if you were able to connect all the wires to some sort of power source that was converted to fit and work in it, you might be able to get it to move. But without something like that here, it is literally a doorstop.
Okay. And I can't think of anything to do with it. Well, Isaac will say that if I had an appropriate power source, I could probably make it move, and I could probably sort of fix it, but I need a power source. And to be
Power
honest,
sources.
this was one of the most interesting things down there.
She looks a bit deflated. And she kind of sits down, resting the crutch against her chest. Well, that means at least you got down there. You got past the door.
Yeah.
Well, boy, have a seat. Tell me what was there. I'd like to know that I lost my leg for something, at least.
Well, I'm gonna need a moment to think, because
Sure.
I need to think of what to tell her.
And if you want to handle that part narrative, like, Isaac does this or tells her that, then that's fine too. Or if you want to roleplay it, you can as well.
You know what? Let's handle it narratively.
Sure.
Isaac will sit down and start going into, well, there was a switch behind a rock that it seemed like it was too perfect of a fit. They removed it, they pressed the switch and deactivated some kind of alarm. They went down into what seemed like a tomb. We found a bunch of dead bodies along with approximately 5 of those. And he's going to point towards the robot head. This was the only one that was headless. The other ones had their head, but they were way too heavy to carry back up. There was also a few devices, a lot of technology down there, but we were unable to really find anything interesting. There were some books that were ratting away. But he's not going to tell her about the holographic stuff.
Okay.
And he's not going to tell her about the Techno-wizard.
Okay. Then as you say that, her face will kind of not grow uninterested, but unenthusiastic by what you found. And then she'll say, well, I suppose after so many years, I guess I had built it up to be something mysterious and wonderful instead of just some ancient hovel. I guess that's what I get for expecting too much. But I suppose it's still good to have some closure. Are my items still intact, boy?
Yes. Everything is still there except for 1 pair of armor.
I see.
Yeah, it kind of got damaged while we were trying to sneak past the Palladium. Some of the little bastards got at it, so we figured that you didn't want damaged goods.
Ah. She takes the little bag of stones that you gave her in payment for it and just kind of throws it onto the table and says, well, I suppose 1 suit of armor is worth the price of a little bit of closure. There's your down payment back. And I suppose I should say thank you, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the answer I wanted, but answers are better than none.
True. I do have another question, though. Would
Yes.
you be willing to part with that gem? Is there anything that we could get you to possibly get that gem in exchange?
She's quiet for a long time. Then she stands up and goes over to the gem, hobbles over to it, and she reaches for it. And as she reaches for the gem, hello, welcome back, Inferno.
Hello.
Thank you.
Real quick, I'll just catch you up real fast. Isaac and has given back the goods. You've gotten all your money back. She's given you all the money you gave back, saying that it was worth the price of at least knowing what was down there. Isaac told her what was down there, leaving out things like the Techno-wizard and the hologram, basically just telling her there was a bunch of rusted robots, which she didn't know what that meant, and
Okay.
books and stuff. basically the gist is we got down there wasn't much of interest to you. If a robot's not of much interest to you, a dead one. And she said, well, it's probably my own fault for after so long trumping myself up to think it might be something amazing. And Isaac was just asking her if there was anything at all that could make her part with that other gym. And after a while of thinking, she stood up and has hobbled over to the gym. And as she reaches to pull the gym from its perch up above behind her counter, her hand slips right around it. But you both notice that one of the bracelets on her wrists glows faintly when she reaches her hand in and grabs it. And then when she pulls the plaque down to her, the bracelet stops glowing. And then she begins to hobble back over to the table and sits down holding the gem. And she goes, this gem this thing is unique. No one I've ever shown it to, nor anyone I have known, has ever seen anything like it. A stone clear and green and beautiful. It is, as far as I know, the only one in existence on Siren. And I lost my leg to get it. So it is precious to me beyond compare. That said, no merchant worth their salt would say anything's impossible. If you have something of equal value to me that I would cherish as much as I highly doubt you could, I would be willing to consider.
Xavier ponders for a moment, and he says, were you born here in the Golden City?
She chuckles and she says, no. My father was a farmer who did the Golden City a favor back in the day and got us residency. I've been here since I was 18, I think. Long time ago.
I see. How far have you roamed? Have you lived? How much of Siren have you seen?
She spreads her hand out to kind of motion to the world and said, oh, as far as you can see in any direction, though what I found, as much as what you found, is more of the same. Palladium's death and storms.
What if I told you not everything out there is all the same? It's not all Palladium and death and storms.
She's quiet. All right, you have my interest.
You understand the next words I have to say must be careful. The Radiant and their mad gods, their sacred six, control everything in the city, and we don't know each other well enough, do we?
I suppose not, she says carefully.
So, when I say these words, understand that I intend on protecting them in case you inform people who would not be interested. You understand?
She chuckles and she says, boy, I think we've been through enough together that we could incriminate each other quite nicely. If I were to tattle on you, you could very easily tattle on me.
Very well. Then I will tell you the true reason why we are here. And Xavier, well, you can't see me through the mask. If you did, I'd be winking over at Isaac. He'd say, we are here on a mission, a most holy one. We serve a trinity of gods called the Triumvirate. And our gods are real. And the mad gods are false. They sent us on a religious quest to find the truth. And we have. Not all of Siren, not all of existence is as bleak and as awful as this place. If you give us the gem so we can continue on our holy quest, we will take you with us, and you will see sights you have never seen, interacted with people you could not imagine, and touch the sky.
Oh, fuck you, Inferno. I did not expect
Yeah.
that at all.
Well, shit.
Give me a second.
Yeah, sure, take all the time you need, motherfucker. Now you know how it's like. What it feels like.
I was like, okay. She listens to what you say, and then she goes, "Bah, you're pulling my leg."
I am not.
And she kind of like fidgets in her chair and then looks around.
Squee.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna say, if this continues, I want to do a paired action with Thedo.
Okay, sure.
To
She's gonna-
possibly do something kind of interesting, kind of like how we handled the fire thing with me and Al.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well, I
thinking.
can let you know for the next 20 seconds at least, she's going to be fluctuating between pondering quietly and then starting to say something and then stopping. And that's going to be basically her behavior for the next 20 seconds or so. If that's what you're wondering, if you want to do something in that period of time, or
I'm gonna wait until Thedo says something, until
okay.
Inferno says something, but I'm readying, essentially.
I don't know what you're going to do, though. I am not psychic, so we'll have to just see what the like.
Yeah, something to do with telekinesis.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. Probably.
Honestly,
just levitating
I
the
don't
gem.
want to metagame this too much, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
I know you have certain psychic powers, but so if you want to do something while I'm speaking or in reply to her or something like that, feel free to do it. Like, if
Yeah.
you're asking me if you have me as a consent as a player, sure, but as a character, I have no idea what the hell you're gonna do.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just warning Squee.
Sure. I'm all for it. So, what she'll do is she'll go back and forth, and then after 20 seconds, she'll say, "You can take me away from all this and show me wonders."
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She looks at the gym and then looks back to you guys and then looks to the gym. And she says, "Prove it."
I'll levitate the gem.
Okay. You levitate the gem.
And
she-
Xavier will take off his mask. And you'll see the disfigured face there. Now, Xavier is going to quickly program, like quickly press. Actually, no. No, I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate one of my predetermined faces.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll choose. Give me a moment as I look through what I have. There are my notes. Oh, god damn it. Okay, never mind. I'll just choose the African American gentleman. So, like, slowly, I think it takes like a period of about like 2 minutes or something like that. My face is going to completely change in front of her.
Okay. She'll stare at the floating gem and Thedo's slowly changing face. And, oh, hang on. Sorry. Got to think for a second as a GM. Which I'm gonna roll something real quick. Da, 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 da. Okay. Okay.
There you go, Terry Caldwell. That's his name.
She's going to watch the transformation, the floating gem, and she's going to look rather unimpressed at that, and she's going to go, "Bah, magic! I've seen magic." And then she starts to get up and hobble over to behind her counter, and she says, "I know how to prove yourself." And she reaches under the counter that holds some of the more expensive jewelry, like it held much of the gold that you guys bought and things like that. And she pulls out something that looks rather familiar. It's a necklace with a green orb attached to it.
Oh, that's easy enough.
And she begins to hobble back over and she places it on the table.
She says nothing about like my face that's changing in front of her as we're speaking.
She does. She says that she thinks it's magic, and that's not impressive to her. She sees magic everywhere.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And she says, "I've seen spells that can do wonders, but I've already seen that. You said you can show me wonders I've never seen."
Mm-hmm.
Wait. You've seen spells that can do wonders. At which point did we say the magical words for these spells?
Indeed.
She pauses. She says, "You telling me that
'Cause-
no be magic?"
No. And Isaac is going to float the gem into above his hand and make it twirl around. This is not magic.
Her eyes narrow as she looks at each of you.
We are familiar with your truth gems, though.
Yeah.
Here, and Xavier will go over and grab onto it and says, "We are not from Siren. We are from someplace beyond.
Beyond Siren, beyond the world.
Beyond. Yes.
What is beyond the world?
Wonders."
She plops back down into the chair a little harder than she probably wanted. And she says, I don't understand.
Put down the gem.
You put down the gem, and she looks at she looks very impressed now. And she says,
I'm gonna slowly start molding my facial features back to Theta, by the way, while we're talking. So she can go fuck
And
herself.
I'm going to levitate the gem back over to her if she wants to grab it.
she will. She'll grab it and kind of hold it to her chest as she stares at you and stares at the gem, and then says, "I understand that you believe what you're saying, and it's hard to say such a thing and not mean it. But I'm afraid I don't. What's not the world? I don't understand. Are we talking about..."
There's only one way to find out. I offered you something far greater than your experiences with a green gem and losing your leg. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Do you wish to take it or do you not?
She is quiet for a long time. And then she says, "To be an adventurer again, to see something more than this death.
Would be
All right.
wondrous, wouldn't it?
I'll make you a deal.
Hmm?
You can have my gem, but I hold on to it until I am certain that you mean to take me wherever you mean to take me. Until I understand more about what this means. But I give you my word. If you're giving yours and you're honest, my gem is yours."
We will accept this condition on one of our own. You must travel with us. There is much that we must do in a relatively short period of time. You must travel with us, And you must go along with what we say. Be a silent partner in all this.
She gives a throaty laugh and she says, well, I don't move so fast these days, but if that's your terms, those are your terms. I'll travel with you if you'll forgive an old woman her slowness.
You're not that old, and that is not a problem. The important thing is that you come, because I was also not lying when I said that the mad gods are false. We're going to show the Radiant and everyone here that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's probably best that you stand beside us. It will be a much safer place and much more enlightening.
She nods and waves her hand dismissively at the same time, which is an odd gesture, but she seems very distracted by
Odd?
many things. No, like very not sure how to feel kind of thing. And she says, "You're being honest with me, I'll be honest with you. Gods don't mean much to me. All I've ever seen them do is destroy. You say your gods are different, fine. But what I'm interested in is what you promised me. I'll travel with you." And
Good.
she goes, when?
Take a few hours, gather some necessary things, and of course that gem, and meet us outside your shop in about 3 hours' time. Our companions that you met yesterday, we need to rendezvous, meet up with them again, and inform them of this new arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
She nods. And she gives a very genuine, excited grin that shows teeth. And she says, "Give me 30 minutes.
And hey,
Okay.
who knows? After everything is said and done, and if you come with us, you might be able to walk again on both legs.
This
But
is
that's
true.
that's
As
a while
Isaac
off.
says that, she misses a step with the cane and falls over in like shock.
Isaac will go and help her back up.
She looks at you wild-eyed and says, "Don't be promising things you can't do. Not like that."
I promise.
This is true.
In about 2 months' time, if you come with us, you will have another leg.
Do not make promises that you cannot guarantee, friend, Xavier will say as he looks at level with
Fine,
Isaac.
I won't say it.
Her eyes grow sad for just a moment, and then she shakes her head and she says, "Doesn't matter either way. One thing, though. If I'm coming with you, I don't plan on coming back."
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
is
if
as you wish.
She says, I don't know if you understand this or not, but if you live in a place like this long enough, and then you see these wonders you promise me, I don't think I could come back to this. I need to make sure this is okay. Wherever you take me, you can leave me, and I won't just die.
Will not kill you. Do not worry. And when we take you there, you will be astounded. However, it is not wise to burn all bridges. If you choose not to come back, then so be it. All I can do is guarantee that we will not harm you or directly place you in a place of harm.
She nods slowly and says, "Fair enough." And then she starts hobbling away with her gem and starts kind of throwing things into a chest that's about a footlocker size.
Okay. Oh, well, we should leave and try to meet up with Lucas or keep an eye out for Lucas, because now that we got the gem, that's great. Like, that problem is solved. So even if we get kicked out of this city now because of whatever Lucas is doing, we're not fucked,
Yeah.
right? We have our 3 components. But it'd be really nice not to be kicked out from this city. So we got to keep an eye out for Lucas and find out where he's going to pop up at. So
To the van.
I say, yeah, on our way to the van, on the street while we're walking, Xavier will say, Isaac,
What?
I don't plan on taking this woman with us. I don't plan on adding another crew member. We needed that gem. I promised to show her wonders, and we got plenty of wonders just aboard, the second chance.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because when you
We're
were
gonna
taking
allow
about
her?
when you were talking about you're coming with us, I figured back to home base.
No. We'll see how things go, but I'll be honest with you. I just want to blow her mind a little bit so she doesn't feel like she's been ripped off. We'll see what the other side of this bloody place looks like, That's why I was so eager to tell her, no, don't burn all your bridges, don't leave if you don't want completely, right? Because home is still home. And, some people wish they could go back home, but that's not an option for them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let's not promise her a new leg and that she'll be traveling for the next, half a year with us. That's over-promising, in my opinion.
Okay.
As you guys talk, you're not troubled or any way as you approach the vans. When you get to the vans, of course, you would be searched by the guards of that little pavilion where your van is parked. Not too thoroughly, not like when you were first searched when you got there, but more like just arms up. Do you have anything? Are you taking anything with you? General questions like that. They're very polite. And they ask, do you plan on coming back? And if so, when?
We do plan to come back in a couple of hours, if I recall correctly, out of character.
Yes.
Yes, so we will tell them
We
that.
just came here to retrieve a few things. We are not leaving the city, if it's okay by you.
Oh, sure, of course. If you do need to leave the city bounds for any reasons, let us know. We can give you a pass that, would last for 20... I'm sorry, excuse me. Let me redo that. It said,
Okay.
If you do need to leave city premises for any reason, let us know, and we can give you the appropriate pass.
Wonderful. We shall do so.
And with that, you're able to get to your van.
Okay.
Groovy.
Switching over to Isaac real quick. Isaac.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Lucas.
There
Switching
you
over to
go.
Lucas. Shit, the camera pans out and then pans right back into Isaac.
Wow. What?
Lucas, I did forget to take into my calculations that you're dragging a 200-pound robot with you.
Yeah.
So let's say 2 hours.
All right. Lizard man, help me.
Yes, Lizard Man would help you. You actually come out, you break surface, you break soil. About 300 feet outside the Golden City wall. And you break dirt onto a flat plain. It's interesting. You see, now that you're on the other side of the city, it looks as though the features of the land have been flattened for a good area around the Golden City. There's no rocky crags or uneven ground. It looks like it's all just a leveled area. And you break the ground there into the early morning overcast light.
Ah, finally out. I've been giving you a bit of a cramp. How are you guys doing?
The teeth chatter.
Yes. One at a time, though. Hold on. It's hard to do Morse code this fast. All right, I'm going to assume most of you are pretty good with the situation. You've done well, soldiers. Well done. Mission accomplished.
Wait, do these things legit communicate by Morse code?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's written in text.
Piph made sure Lucas knew Morse code before he learned the spell.
That is hilarious. Good for you.
I will say that the teeth aren't exactly smart. They're not like human-esque, but they can communicate simple thoughts and ideas through Morse code. But there's no like mastermind teeth.
Like, all right, so we need to still be in cover because I don't know who's going to be around to be looking, but once we know that there's a vehicle around, make sure that we're noticed. Now, it has to be the one with the wheels, not the floaty one. So, keep a... He looks at them. How do you see things? Never mind. Whatever you do to see things, keep a...
There's a chatter and a Morse code, and it stops as every single tooth stops. And then after about 10 seconds, they all begin chattering at once. The basic message is, how do we see things?
Just if they're coming around, inform me and my good friend here. Both of us have been away for a bit too long, so if you would, be so kind. Inform us. Make sure... Yeah, if anybody comes, make sure you wake us up. You guys did so well so far. You guys are the best. As he's like slowly closing his eyes, slightly slouching down the hole.
So just so you know, because I'm curious as to where you are. So you're in clear view of the city walls. Now, you haven't noticed anything of maybe anyone noticing you, but you are in clear view. Do you want to be outside the hole, inside the hole?
I want to go back in the hole and have like
a few sentry teeth.
Yeah, a few sentry
teeth. Most of the teeth would chatter pleasantly at the compliment and follow you back in the hole, leaving a few sentry teeth outside.
I hope they like hop to the left and right every once in a while. Oh, that'd be delightful. Anyway, that's me.
Okay. All right. So back at Isaac and Xavier, you are at the van.
Well, see, now I don't want to metagame. The idea, at least for me, for us, is that we assumed we didn't know how far Lucas was going to dig, right? So we were going to go back to just that road before you get to the boundaries of like you can't enter here, and like keep an eye and ear out. That was my intent. And frankly,
didn't Lucas say before he started all of this that he's going to try and get outside?
I didn't know that.
Lucas
outside
said
anything.
Lucas said when he was questioned, how do we know where to find him? It's look for the big color, and he was going to he's going to be very noticeable, basically.
Okay. Look for the big color. All right. Yeah, so now we could go to... I wouldn't mind sticking together with Isaac, just in case. But we could look in the city in two different areas, I guess.
Sure. Why not?
Okay, sure.
Honestly, I think we're just waiting for Lucas's signal, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we can narratively do that.
We will narratively do that.
Find them. Yeah. So you guys can search through the city. You're not actually approached or talked to by many of the citizens as they all go about their business. You also don't see signs of Lucas. This is a question for Lucas then. Did you intend a signal that could be seen through city walls or over city walls or anything like that?
No. And there was another line where it's just like, it's going to be very easy for me to be seen by me. Everything's gray. That's...
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think he can actually get back into the city from outside the city, if I remember correctly.
Well, as a GM, then I have a question that could speed things along, but it's up to you guys as players. Do you think Xavier or Isaac at some point, if you guys search the town and can't find him, might suggest looking outside or anything like that?
Yeah, once we give it a good search, though. I mean, we don't
Mm-hmm.
know how long it'll take him to dig. I'd assume like half a day. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then
I
you start
understand.
to worry and then be like, oh, okay, maybe he's outside the city, right? I don't
So,
know. Honestly, it's weird to rationalize not because we clearly know what's gonna happen out of character. It's really hard to
mhm.
rationalize what to do in character to move the fucking session along.
How about we just find him?
Well, okay. So here's what we'll do. We'll say that you guys search the city in a good, say, 2 hours, because using the elevators and the way the city is designed, the fact that it's a stadium-like city, it's fairly easy to get on one of the upper rows and see everywhere. So if you guys are okay, it would make sense that after, say, 2-3 hours, your characters would say, okay, he's not here. And we don't hear chomping sounds or anything like that. If you guys want to do that, and then maybe someone suggests looking outside just to move the session along, I'm fine with this.
Yes.
Okay. As you guys approach the van, you will see walking towards you, well, more hobbling really. Levine is hobbling on her cane, dressed in thick clothing with an air mask or filter like everyone else. And floating along behind her is a large crate, like the chest that's about the size of a footlocker. It's just floating right along behind her. And she starts to approach you guys and she says, sorry, it took me a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm ready.
Hmm. Very well. Join with us and prepare to have your lives changed. Like I said, though, we'll have a few things to take care of. First, we still have to find our friends.
Okay. Lead the way, young man.
Mm-hmm. And I will do so.
All right. You'll have to slow down the pace a bit to keep up with, or for her to keep up with you.
Uh-huh.
But when you get to the van, the same guards are still there, so they're like, welcome back.
Thank you.
They'll do a quick cursory search. One of them will mutter about procedure, and then they'll say, do you intend to leave the city gates this time, or are you just grabbing things again?
We're going to be leaving this time.
I see. We can offer you a red pass, which would grant you access back in the city within 4 hours, or we can grant you a blue pass, which will show that for the time being you are allowed to trade inside the city. If you are headed home and plan to return back in several months, that blue pass will denote when last you were here.
What do you think, Isaac?
Well, I think we should probably nab a blue pass. Well, see, here's the thing, guards. We're kind of thinking of coming back tomorrow. Would the blue pass be appropriate, or?
He nods and he says, the blue pass would probably be appropriate. It'll take longer for you to get back in, but the red pass is really designed for small trips outside the city. If you want to be safe, then take the blue pass. Just understand that you'll have to go through a lot more procedures when you come back.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should probably just do that.
I agree. I concur.
All right. One of the guards will flip through like a little satchel he has, and he'll pull out a card and he'll start writing something down on it with some weird kind of device. It's strange because in your experience, most writing utensils are designed to fit the human hand well. They're long, they're narrow, they're like pins or feathers. This one's actually like a small square that he kind of holds by 3 fingers and doodles with, if that makes sense. He kind of holds it by the tips of his fingers and draws on it something in a language that you're not too well, in a written language that you're not too familiar with. It seems like a very, very changed version of Trade 4.
Huh.
Okay.
And he hands it to you and he says, well, good luck in your... Wait, Levine? You're going with them? And Levine will actually take her cane and poke the guard in the chest and say, I go where I want, Sonny. Is that a problem? No, just you haven't... I mean, you haven't left and... Well, no. Will you be needing a blue pass too? She kind of chuckles and she says, yeah, give me a blue one. And so the guard fishes out another pass and gives her a blue one as well. And then he says, well, safe travels, and we look forward to trading with you again.
Wonderful.
And about that time, as you guys start entering in the van and start piling in to take off, you hear a thunderous roar as a Palladium dives through the cloud cover and dives at high speed through the center of the city and disappears into darkness with a Doppler effect roar. You know, getting louder, getting quieter. It shakes the whole town as it does that. And you hear a comment from Levine going, never get used to that.
Yeah. I can see why.
With that, you would be unhindered as you leave the city gates. And then, like I said, just to move the city, the session along a bit, you guys can also tell that the area is flattened around the city. Would you want to take a circling pattern just to see the outside of the whole city? You kind of know what direction he was starting to travel in, so you'd have at least a general idea of what direction he should be coming out of.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you begin driving that direction. Could both of you roll me a d20, please?
Can do. Oh, we can do. All right. Rick and Morty. You said D20, right?
Yes, please.
No modifier?
No modifier.
11.
All right. Actually, that's good enough, and he's feeding his cat. So, Xavier.
Uh-huh.
As you're driving around, you do see it's kind of hard to miss, really, because the land is incredibly flat. It looks kind of like I said for Lucas, it looks prepared as if this was intentionally made level. So it's not hard to see a section of the ground that looks like it's recently been dug through. It looks like a small anthill almost.
Okay.
And if you draw closer to it, you will see 2 or 3 of Lucas's chattering teeth that you're familiar with.
Ah, there he is. I don't see Lucas?
No, you don't see Lucas or Talabek.
Those sentries better use their teeth eye things, whatever.
I hate to tell you this, but your teeth aren't sentries. They follow your commands, but they aren't watchdogs. They don't quite work that well.
What's the use of sentient beings if they can't sentient?
True, they can't be blind if you think about it.
It's very
Because
true.
then they wouldn't know what to attack.
They can't be blind, but also, and Piph, I'll let you know this in the future. They follow very simplistic directions. The direction of watch out for this specific thing, and if you see it at some point in time, come let me know, is a bit too complex for them. They're more used to go chomp that. Or
I think his instructions was, if you see anything, wake me up.
well, anything with wheels. It was very specific, actually.
Yeah, he actually retract that if he was just anything.
Okay.
Anything comes, wake me up.
Let me think, because they are sentient. All right. I will figure out some sort of rules for that later. But in the rules of fun, in the interest of fun, as the van approaches, Lucas, you'll start hearing chattering.
Okay, Lizard Man, be prepared for a fight or friends, one of the two.
It starts off as light chattering, and then all 48 teeth begin, or 49 teeth begin chattering to make it into a very loud buzzsaw type chattering inside that hole.
Thank you. I'm awake. Where's the off button on this? God, you're like cats. All right, we're up.
All right. About that time, you hear a van parking outside. Xavier, is it safe to say you drive up to the little molehill?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll leave it to you guys.
Okay, I'll get out of the van. And
Lucas's head pops out from the hole.
oh, there you are.
These things do not sentry very well, as he like brushes off quite a bit of dirt. They're supposed to alert me if they see anything move.
I see. Well, first of all, I'm glad it's us that came across you. Second of all, I'm glad you didn't end up on the inside of the city. The outside of the city is fantastic, though. This is good. This will be a pretty easy way. How far is it into?
All the way down on a very surprisingly clean slant.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Before, oh yeah, by the way, I would have told I would have liked to have told Levine to stay in the van for now.
Okay. She'll stay in the van.
Okay. And then Lucas will explain, Xavier will explain to Lucas. So we were able to procure that other gem to assist us in the second chance.
Lucas, oh, fantastic. Oh, I got something for you too. As he goes back down into the hole, as his head pops back down, you see the head of a robot come up. And he looks like it's wiggling around like a puppet, like, hey, I'm here too.
Okay. All right, Lucas. I'll focus here for a second, because we all need to be on the same page with this.
Yeah.
The reason we got the gem is because there's the storekeeper, this woman named Levine.
Nice lady.
Well, she's with us now for at least a small period of time. I told her that about the triumvirate. I told her that how the mad gods were false, and I promised to show her wonders that she never saw and to touch the sky in exchange for the emerald gem that she has with her.
You see the robot head nodding along with what you're saying.
So she doesn't know much about us. So it's important to keep. Oh, you like secrets, don't you?
Lucas's head pops up next to the robot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, pretend this. Everything that she's going to find out about us is like going to be a huge surprise party. So the more we keep it a secret, the more surprise she'll feel when it turns out, when it's revealed to her.
That makes way too much sense. I'm in.
Great. So let me introduce you, and I do so.
Should I show her the robot?
Sure. You can show her the robot.
Lucas it's like, Talvak, help me put this up, and the freaking robot springs out of the hole and flops onto the floor as Lucas climbs out of the hole. with Talavac.
Who still seems very distracted.
Lucas like heaves up the body, goes, all right, I'm ready. You're a big one, aren't you?
All right. With Talavac's help, you can certainly drag the robot to the van and get it inside. When you open the door, you'll see Levine sitting on top of a footlocker type chest, and she'll say, "Oh, it's you two," and she grins at you toothily. They said we would be picking up friends. Oh, you have another one of those statues. This one seems more intact.
He's seen better days, but we'll spruce him up, I'm sure.
I see, she says.
By the way, welcome aboard. It's going to be a nice ride, as he gives her an excited smile and sits down and sits the robot next to him.
She nods and she says, "Your friend said that there are other places beyond Siren that are different from this hell. I'm going to see them."
I'm looking forward to whatever happens.
She gives you another toothy grin.
Hey, Lucas is going to yell outside, "All aboard!"
Oh, God. 48, 49.
Number one, Levine. Here's surprise number one.
I'm going to say 48. 48 chattering teeth climb aboard the van. Lucas, you seem to be missing one. Maybe it didn't make the dig. Maybe it just, whatever the reason is, you have 48 chattering teeth.
He's living out his life now. As he nods to himself.
Levine looks at the chattering teeth everywhere and she goes, "Are all your wonders so loud?"
Maybe, as he gives her a shrug. Who would know?
She kind of looks at you wearily as she starts staring at the teeth and then kind of draws her one leg up on the footlocker as one of them scoots past her.
They're very friendly. As he gets a smile and gets himself, if there is any buckles, buckled in.
Okay. So everyone good to go?
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
All right. I assume the plan is to head back to the second chance.
I do believe so.
Yes, because once we can get our ship repaired, well, I mean, we're talking about this out of character, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure. Okay, we're far more successful than I anticipated. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be harder to get the gem, but then I turned out to be a genius. So you know.
Oh yeah.
So. And modest.
Well, it is the beauty of roleplay is that I'm with you. I expected it to be a lot harder too. But if you need to play a character and the NPCs too, yeah, you offered her just what she wanted. So yes,
you'd have thought. So, and here's the other thing too. Now we have an easy way to get back into the Techno-wizard thing. Okay, all right. So let's just take a moment here and figure out what we want to do to really capitalize on all this, right? So. Wait a second. Out of all that stuff that we learned from the Techno-wizard, but we weren't able to locate the actual emitter that caused the hologram to show up. Did we?
No, what you know, and I'll let you guys know, what the disc told you is that the city was built near the ley line, and the Like there's one ley line in the planet. The city was built near it so that everything could draw power from it. So you would know realistically that it's got to be somewhere around the Golden City, and you know it's high up in the atmosphere. That's all you know.
The hologram
That's all the
emitter is up in the
distal-
atmosphere?
Oh no! Wait, which emitter are we talking about then?
I'm talking about the hologram.
The
thing
hologram.
that is malfunctioning that
Hologram.
came up from the pit.
Yeah.
That one, no, you guys do not know the location of.
Well, damn.
So we
could-
can't.
We could still have Hart poke around and see if she could find it.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe there was a place that we didn't check. I mean,
Okay. We have to come up with some goals here first, and then come up with strategies with that. All right. So goal. Okay. Goal 1 is to restore the weather. Ironically, that's going to be the easiest fucking thing to do, right? Because we have all the components now, right?
yes.
Well, we need to get a working ship, but still, right? So we want to change the weather for good. All right, we got that. All right. We want to strip the radiant of power. Now, in order to do that, that's going to be a big one. The good news is that goal ties in with the third goal, which is capitalize on this revolution and make a shit ton more stones, right?
Yeah.
So the problem with getting rid of the radiant is that it's kind of super hard. I just realized, because not only do we have to now find and get rid of this emitter, but wait a second, hold up a second, but also get rid of the Palladium or deal with the Palladium. Now, when the Techno-wizard talked about, he talked about a lot of things, but it was something about harnessing the ley line power and in doing so, F things up. But he came up with a last-minute solution that he wasn't able to actually use, which is the code that goes with the gem interacts with the thing that's up in the atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he say the consequences of that ley line energy once it's released? Like, do ley lines come back from the world, or are they gone from the world, or does it not change?
I'm fairly sure that the ley line will come back from the description, because right now, in its current state, the terraformer is trapped between dimensions, and it is pulling way too much energy. The code that we need to download into the terraformer is to make it not use so much energy, so I would think that the ley line would come back.
Which means that malfunctioning hologram will work completely perfectly again.
Yes.
Which means it won't be so much a mad god, but it will be our friend the Techno-wizard just being him.
That's why I was saying maybe we could have Hart reprogram it if we could find it. And just videotape one of us in its stead with instructions and shit. Because they just take the big, huge hologram as their god. They just take it as instructions.
But what exactly would Hart be reprogramming?
The whatever is pre-programmed into the hologram emitter.
But we don't know where the emitter is.
Yes, that's why.
So we have to find the emitter. We have to find the emitter, either to smash it or to reprogram it, and deal with the Palladium. Now, with the ley line energy coming back, it might calm the Palladium down, right? Because
Perhaps.
I think those things that guy engineered, those little bat-like things, interact with it, and they're malfunctioning, therefore the Palladium's malfunctioning.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a theory, and a very loose one at that.
Yeah. Well, you are correct. In the discs, when I re-listened to them, he created them to create euphoria in the Palladium, and when the terraformer started, sucking in way too much of the ley line, then it morphed the little bat-like creatures into, oh, hey, now it's hurting it. So maybe if the ley line comes back, it'll go back? I'm not sure, though.
Perhaps. Here's the thing. Without question, uploading the code and letting the terraformer fixing the terraformer will change the world Siren significantly. Not only weather-wise, but a possibly tamed Palladium, and the Mad Gods technically would still die, but they just wouldn't be our version of what we want.
Yeah.
So, is that enough? Because here's the funny thing. For the Radiant, they have their little Mad God hologram to influence the spiritual side of things, but they also have that fucking Palladium.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't understand. There's something that we're missing here. The Radiant knows how to control the Palladium. They have to, or they know how to control the bats, because otherwise it would just tear through everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
For the most part.
the Cathor's, robot dude that he was speaking through, he did say that the Radiant have a device to sort of pseudo control it, but all they can really do is point it to something and it'll destroy that.
Okay. So the only way we can do part one, like the fixing the weather, we could just fix the weather and just leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do our good deed. We make Siren a slightly better place. We take whatever stones we got and we leave, right? Or we're going to have to legit join this revolutionary thing that Adolin started and see it through. You know what I mean? Now we're going to have a really big asset in our ship being repaired again. You know what I mean? And that Palladium can only be in one place. So with our influence, we'd probably be able to tip things, at least even out the sides between the Radiant and the Resistance, right? Because that was the whole reason why we came here anyway, right? To sell these Resistance guys weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, they must be doing something right or they'd be wiped out by now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a movement happening. So if we attach ourselves to that movement, attach the triumvirate to that movement, that's the only way I can see us seeing our goals. You know what I mean? Because we have the same enemy, obviously, the Radiant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the only question is for us is if we want to bother to do that, if we want to be joining with the revolutionaries or not. Because if we don't, then we might as well just fix the weather and leave, right?
Yeah. I, as a player,
Mhm.
am honestly sick and tired of Siren. We've been here way too long for me.
I'm kind of on the same way, to tell you the truth, the same wavelength, and I can rationalize it easily for as far as Xavier goes. You know what I mean? Like, we already made a considerable amount of money with some bonus stones. You know, the only thing we need to do is, before we get back to our craft for it to be fixed, is to stop off in that cave and collect those stones of ours.
Yep, and also Baker's Village. The
What about
2,000 from
Baker's
there.
Village? That's right. That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. So how about, you know what? Before we make any long-term decisions, let's do the short-term stuff, right? Because let's not overplan, right?
Okay.
So our next destination should be the cave for the stones, then Baker's Village for our payment,
Mm-hmm.
and then back to our ship to get it repaired. And once our ship is repaired, then we can decide whether we want to take the fuck off or stick around.
Yeah. Well, I still
Okay.
would like to help the weather. I'm not entirely sold
Oh, of
on
course.
anything else after that. The only thing that I'm kind of interested in is if we can find this hologram emitter and reprogram it and then just shake things up before we leave. But I'm not really interested in fighting their battle.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, there you go. All right, but let's just do step 1, step 2, step 3 first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And talk about the long, because anything could happen between step 1 and step 5, right?
Yeah.
So, Squee, I'll guide the van to go back down that main road, back towards Baker's Village, and try to locate that good old-fashioned cave that we stashed the golden hover vehicle in.
Mm-hmm.
And the stones that are owed to us.
Okay. Are you guys taking the golden hovercraft? I believe you stashed the one that was undamaged, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
if
don't
I
know yet.
recall-
Well, we'll find out when we get there.
What we can
Got
do
it.
is have, because Talavac is an NPC for now, we can have Talavac pilot it back to the ship while we make our way to Baker's Village.
It's tempting. The only problem is if we come across a Radiant Patrol while we're driving that vehicle, we have a fight on our hands.
True.
So we either take it to have a bonus vehicle and run a big risk,
Yeah.
or we leave it and not have a bonus vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So we have
but
to weigh our options here.
if I recall correctly, David really wanted that vehicle.
Mm-hmm. But David isn't going to be here to fight if we have a fight.
Yeah.
I'll say this as a GM. If you guys, because I know, like you said, I know David wanted to have the vehicle. If you wanted to have him drive it back to the ship, I'm not going to have a PC character who's not here have to defend himself. So I can say at the least that he could get to the ship with that.
I guess I can say I appreciate that, but that takes away the pros and cons of us making that decision. You know what I mean? Like, there's no consequence now, so of course we're going to take it. But you know what I mean?
Not quite. I wasn't finished. I didn't say that wouldn't mean that he wouldn't be. There's not a chance he wouldn't be noticed or seen. I'm just not going to make it be a fight or have something like that. There is still some risk to it, but I'm not going to make it a fight for a PC character who can't defend himself.
Then why don't we hold off on the cave then until Dave is here? We can always come back for the other stuff later.
You know, once we get the ship fixed, we could always just land right outside that goddamn cave and load everything in.
That's what I was trying to say.
Let's do that then. So then let's go to Baker's Village.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a 3-hour drive, I believe, from the Golden City to Baker's Village, traveling at the 50 miles an hour safe speed. Yes, Lucas.
Lucas is napping. How much nap time has he got from all this? 2 hours of digging and then
2 hours of digging and then probably about 2 hours before they came to find you. No, about 1 hour, sorry, before they came to find you. And then, so what, 3 hours? So 4 hours total.
Okay.
However, at some point, probably an hour or so into the trip, Lucas would be poked by a wooden cane.
Yes.
Are these chattering things yours?
I like to think that they have their own wills and things, but I am the one who created them and give them nice commands that I hope they appreciate.
Can you, I don't know, unsummon them or whatever you do? They are driving me crazy.
That seems rather rude. As he gets up a bit, notices that there's plenty of chattering teeth around doing their own thing. You could swear one of them's playing rock, paper, scissors with himself. He goes, I think there's an unsummoned thing, but do you want to be unsummoned?
She looks at you and says, I want some peace and quiet. Does that count?
Right, silence. All right, boys, listen up. This lady is wanting to keep her mind at ease. So, if you would be so kind, here is some gum for all of you. One for you, one for you, one for you.
Does Lucas
Oh
hand
my
out 49
God.
sticks of gum? Or 48 sticks of
48.
gum?
He does have 48 sticks of gum.
That keeps most of them quiet. There are a few smackers.
You can't do that without lips.
No, you know what I mean. The chomper, but for the most part, things quiet down a lot. Compared to the noise of the driving on the road outside, it is pretty drowned it out. And Levine will sigh and go, "Better than nothing, I suppose." And then she'll sit back. All right, so the other 2 hours you are uneventful as you guys drive to Baker's Village. When you pull up to Baker's Village, of course, there's the normal spot where you parked your car last time. You don't see any other vehicles there, Radiant or Resistance, otherwise.
Okay, good.
So when you guys stop the van, Levine goes, "Are you guys planning on staying here long?"
Not at all, Levine. In fact, well, sorry, did you say what time it was, Squee?
Hang on, let me think. So let's say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll say noon.
Mhm. We could leave right away and get back to our ship. At around nightfall, right?
You could. You'd be looking at about 8 hours.
Oh, yeah, let's just come pick up our stones and go back to our ship. That'll be our first little wonder. What do you guys think?
Out of character, I think that's a pretty good idea.
Great.
In character, Lucas is snoring.
Well, great. Then you'll have a bit of a journey in case we get friggin' ambushed by bandits on the way back. Okay, all right. Since I'm not hearing any no's, then I'll say to Levine, no, we're just here to pick up some stone, some pebbles that are owed to us, and we will be on our way. It'll be another long drive journey, perhaps dangerous, but I promise you, when we arrive, we will show you something I guarantee you've never seen before.
She looks at the teeth and then looks back to you and says, "Fair enough. You don't mind if I just stay here, do you? I don't get around as easily as I used to."
No, please stay here. It's probably best. Our friend Lucas here is resting. It's probably best to have someone to watch over him, make sure nothing poor happens.
Yeah, you gotta look out for me. As he stands up and gets out of the fan. He gets a bit of a stretch. Where are we?
A baker's village. We're here to pick up our reward.
Oh shoot. Yeah, this is where you guys get off. Everyone out.
They single file out of the van.
All right, guys.
2 of them seem stuck together with gum.
This is gonna be your place now. Do what you well, actually, not do what you will. Make sure you protect these people. Think of them as an extension of me. I should probably inform them of that. Actually, I'm gonna I have a new master for you. He's a kind old man, and he'll do wonders for you. Listen to what he says. As Lucas steps droggily out of towards the town, stepping back and forth, stumbling over his own feet, swaying heavily with his entire body back and forth.
48 teeth form like a flying V formation as they follow behind Lucas. And you guys enter the town. You see the town is a bustle. It's actually light with activity, as you see the fountain that used to be in the town square has actually been removed. Hang on, let me move you guys over to Baker's Village. The right here is and what is the beginnings of a hole that is already about 8 to 9 feet deep and has support pillars built around the top of it. That's basically people are already laying stone around the top to protect it and door hinges, and the entire village is basically throwing their efforts into building this underground bunker. Oh, you also notice that this house, the one that had the dungeon and all that, has been burned to the ground.
Burn it! All right, sweet. We need to find the gentleman who hired us to convince his daughter to come back home.
Okay, hang on one second.
Rachel.
Yes.
Right? No. Yeah, there's Rachel. Ironically, I have her name, but I do not have his name.
I don't have his name written down. I have concerned father. I believe that I did not give him one since it was just one of many possibilities. But you can track him down easily enough. He is helping build the hole in the ground. And actually, Rachel is standing next to him, watching the processions. She looks very tired, as if she hasn't gotten much sleep. And she is in a half radiant uniform, as if imagine if you took part of the uniform off if you were hot or whatnot. So you're like, she's down to like a t-shirt and jeans kind of thing, which you find surprisingly, while the outside of the uniform is golden, the inside is white. And this white t-shirt is starting to get stained with dirt and things like that. And as you come in, hard to not be noticed, with a flying V formation of teeth behind you, the half the village looks up, and they begin warmly welcoming you, coming over to say hi and giving you your greetings. And the father comes straight up to you guys and says, I didn't know if I should have believed. Thank you.
You are welcome.
You're a very kind man. Where's the mayor?
I'm sorry.
Chieftain.
You mean the elder?
Elder.
He is down below, and he points to the newly being built shelter.
Now we'll be talking with him. Is he like? Is he just down a hole?
Yes, it's a very structured hole, but yes, if you go down there, you see that there are steps kind of carved into the earth, temporary steps. And when you get down there, it's almost as if they've made a 7-foot by 7-foot room underneath it. There's nothing but dirt walls, and they're expanding upon it. But the elder is down there directing work.
Hello, Elderman.
Oh, welcome. He stutters as he sees teeth falling down the stairs. Welcome back.
Yes. I've had let's just say I made these things, and I was wondering if you wanted to have a few, like, for people in town to entertain them, or whatever, really. It's a gift from me to you.
What are they?
It's they are sentient teeth with tiny feet, and they like going around and clicking them together. I gave them something to chew on for a while.
He looks to. Does anyone follow Lucas down here?
No.
Okay.
No,
He-
we're still dealing with concerned father.
Got it. He looks back and forth between the teeth and Lucas, and he says, "I don't. I don't see how useful they would be. What would I have them do?"
Oh, they're pretty good at digging holes. You can use them as self-protection, or they're really good at rock paper scissors. As he kind of like leans forward really close to the elder and
The elder leans back as you lean forward, and his eyes kind of widen a little bit, and he says, "They are protective. Could one of them, say, fight off a Palladium?"
oh, they're tough little buggers.
Do I have to, I don't know, feed them?
Don't believe so. He looks over at them. They seem to not work so well in large groups, but I'm sure if you split them into tiny ones and had like single people, let's say, how many people are in your village? As he like leans like farther back.
Oh, some well over 100 now.
How many adults in the town?
Oh, about 40, I'd say.
Perfect. There's about 48 here. You split them up into how many people you'd like, or you can have this entire bundle for yourself, all for the low price of uh, 50 stones.
Um, right. Your god of barter. Are you saying this is a gift from the gods?
The border god gives many gifts.
Barter god.
But he likes them too.
I understand. Your gods have given us hope with the shelter. I will not turn away this gift.
Oh man, you look like you're digging a hole. They do pretty well at that. Tested and proven.
Right.
Yes.
Well, then, in the name of Cecilios, sorry.
You
uh,
don't
he-
name them badly now.
he still, like, as if he's not quite sure this is a good idea. He starts counting out 50 pebbles from a belt pouch.
Thank you, kind sir. The chewing things are free. They'll probably last a while because I don't think they got any saliva. I'm gonna go.
Okay. Baker's Village has just purchased 48 chattering teeth.
Stats 15 SDC per,
Uh-huh.
and they can either do a nibble, which is 1d6, or a full strength bite, which is 4d6. Does not seem to have any turn restriction for this, so they can do this 3 times per melee.
Got it. By the way, perhaps due to the shrewdness of the village elder, Lucas is not denoting, he has given you 50 pebbles, none of which are glowing.
Lucas is tired. He didn't even think he was going to get any pebbles. He just thought it was a good idea at the point.
Well, there we go. So Baker's Village has acquired chattering teeth.
Some pretty decent guardians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say so a little bit out of character here because you guys aren't gonna be around to see. You're about to leave, but the village elder is over the course of the day going to dole out the teeth to the families. So basically, oh my god, I not can't believe this is where this is going. But it's like every family is just about to get a pet of chattering teeth.
That is great.
They're adorable.
Cool.
All right. So concerned father.
Yes.
He says came back early this morning. She, well, we have a lot to work out, me and her, but I'm glad to have her home, and I promised you payment.
Although it is glad to see a family back together again, it would be unfair to not receive the reward that was agreed upon.
Yes, of course. Give me one moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he returns about 3 or 4 minutes later, during which time the daughter Rachel looks at you. Though, well, no, you were wearing your mask inside the city, so
Yeah.
she recognizes the same clothing, and she looks at you, but she narrows her eyes at you in particular and does not come over or say hi or anything. She busies herself with other things.
That's fine.
It,
Somehow I'm all right by that.
You'll manage. No PTSD on your part.
Yeah, no, I'm good. You know what she is? She's 2,000 fucking stones, which is, I believe we worked out to be 10 million credits.
Yep. 10
I
million.
Yeah, I'll
thought
take
you were
a
going
scalp
to
on
say
10 million.
2000 and late. For a second.
I thought you were going to
So
say.
2008. You're so 2000 and late.
I actually thought you were going to go the she's a teenager route, which would also, in my opinion, be equally valid. Like, she's angsty.
Yeah.
You know
She's
what's
pretty
really
damn
ironic
angsty.
about that stupid Black Eyed Peas song is now 2008 is 2008.
Yep.
It's 8 years too late. It's the same amount of 8.
Yep.
So late that you released the song in 2009. That kind of late.
Yeah.
The father comes back with a large leather pouch, and he says, 2,000 pebbles, as agreed upon. Thank you again. This is my life savings. It is well worth the price.
Xavier will nod and take it and say, I can imagine.
If you'll excuse me, I have to help the village build this grand gift that your gods have allowed us.
Yes, the triumvirate. I shall confess this to you before I tell this to the elder and to Adolin. You are a farmer, yes?
Yes.
On our way back here, I had a vision. A strong one that touched me as vivid as when Padam used my body for his voice. I saw Dearest look upon Baker's village and weep, and her tears washed away the dust and the storms. Things will grow again, and soon. And you have nothing but the triumvirate to thank for that.
He nods very slowly and he says, I am humbled. I don't know what else to say.
There's no need to say anything. Just know that, well, things may change for the better, even more so now.
Yes, I will spread the word.
Mhm.
The way you're talking, I take it means you don't intend on staying. You are, of course, I'm sure the elder would love to have you guys stay as long as you need.
This has been. We first came here as merchants to sell goods to Adolin and his companions. What soon happened was something that will stay with me the rest of my life. I don't think we can be merchants anymore. I think there is a higher purpose for us. And we'll have to depart as soon as possible to live up to that higher purpose. Do you understand?
He nods. I think so. Oh, your words reminded me. Adolin, he is here. If you wish to see him, he is injured, but I'm sure he would wish to see you as well. He has spoken of you.
Yes, I'm glad to see that he and his men have made it out alive. Well, I shall leave you with your darling daughter.
Yes.
And Xavier, you can't see it, but Xavier's smiling
Yeah.
like that frumpy bitch. All right, but I'll leave.
Okay. And with that, he'll go back to his daughter. He'll mention that Adolin is recovering in the tavern.
Okay. I want to see the elder first, though. We can just narratively do it. I just want to tell him the same good news.
Okay.
Hey, I got a vision. Things are gonna
Xavier
change here
sees
real soon. You're gonna love me.
Xavier sees the elder cataloging his new purchase down below, um, and he'll give him that notice. And the elder will say, "I am not familiar with translating dreams, but it sounds as though something might happen to the storms themselves."
Mayhaps. Who knows? I am not one to interpret the gods' will. I have now just suddenly become a vessel for it. Honestly, sometimes I get as confused about it as anybody else. But don't tell anyone I said that.
He nods and smiles. Yes, the world works in strange ways.
Mm-hmm.
I will take whatever, in any case, I will take this as glad tidings, heaped upon more glad tidings.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, our village has been blessed with your presence. Can I not convince you to stay?
Unfortunately, my will is not mine alone now. It belongs to the triumvirate wholly and completely. I must do what they will. And they need us elsewhere. For now.
Then I wish you safe travels, and may your gods protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Our
May.
gods, he says, like correcting himself with a strange smile.
Ah, there you are. Good. All right, that's it for me.
Okay. You have to shoo one or two chattering teeth off the steps as you go back up.
Uh-huh. Stupid teeth. Do we want to see Adolin?
I think it would be neat.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm for it too, but I don't want to make the decisions for the entire group like all the time.
Okay. You if you go into the tavern, you'll find that the tables are still fairly arranged the same way that Isaac had arranged them when he was healing the children.
Okay.
And Adolin is on one of them. And when you guys enter, his head comes up, and you see that a large section of the left side of his face seems blackened, as if it had maybe a horrific third-degree burn. And one of his eyes is shut and sunken in. But
okay.
but when
Gross.
he sees you, his face brightens up, and he goes, "My friends, You returned safely. That is good. And he jumps up off the table and then kind of like holds on to the table as he's rocked by a spasm of pain, and then shakes it off and stands upright and says, I was afraid I would never see you again.
We worried the same. But when we heard of the explosions and the Radiant's impotent commands to the city, we knew that you made your escape. This is very good.
Yes, we were lucky. There was a merchant, I believe. She was sympathetic to our cause, allowed us to, showed us a way out. I'm glad to say there were no permanent casualties, he says, kind of motioning to his face.
Yes.
And this is a badge of honor, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm glad you were able to see a silver lining in it all.
He nods and he says, I truly believe that Padam kept me safe, as my cause was just.
I'm
We're
glad
making
I'm not
zealots.
Xavier.
We're making
Pardon me?
zealots. We're making
Not
zealots.
making zealots. See, that's unfair. That's unfair.
Devout is a better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. A zealot is a completely different level. The Radiant are zealots. This guy is he's just religious now. I made him religious to our fake religion. And if Xavier had more of a conscience, he'd feel bad. I feel bad, but I don't care. I'm playing my character.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be worse, you know what I mean? You know, he has an interesting perspective on this. He'll talk about it later, I'm sure. But instead, Xavier will say, I am glad. I am very glad. Those words bring joy to my heart. And I also share with him, I don't want to repeat the same thing over and over again, but I want to share him the good news of the vision that I saw about Darius and the crying and the storms and the dust and the hey and the ho. So I want to confess that to him.
Okay.
Confess, quote unquote.
He'll say he'll actually say that he thinks that it must mean that the mad gods are going to be swept away as the storms. Very confident in his assertions of it, and he'll clasp you on the shoulder and he'll say, "Oh, but come, we should celebrate."
Xavier will look. Xavier likes the sound of celebration. He'll look to Lucas and he'll look to Isaac.
Sure.
Lucas is dead on his feet.
Okay. So neither of them seem very enthused. So Xavier will simply say, this celebration, would it take very long?
Well, if I have my way, we would feast for days. Do you have somewhere you need to go?
Well, to be honest, the journey has taken a toll from our friend here, and I'll gesture to Lucas. Although
you see one floppy arm give a half-assed wave.
So I do not know if my companion is in the proper mindset for revelry. How about this? In lieu of a celebration right now, let's all celebrate together, wherever we may be on this planet, when Darius's vision comes to fruition.
He nods and he says, fair enough. That sounds like you have traveling to do.
We do.
I was hoping to convince you to stay and help, but that would be selfish. I see.
You got plenty as his other arm flops forward.
Nothing can be answered if it is not at first asked for, dear Adolin. When we first came to you, we were merchants, and we spoke of the triumvirate. And now, after a very eventful week, or less, we have all been irrevocably changed. Our will is not ours alone anymore. I have been called to a higher path, and I cannot ignore it. You understand?
He nods and he says, well, and he kind of slaps you on the shoulder and says, then a toast at least before you go. And
A
he'll
toast.
go
Yes.
over to the bar and he'll start with the bartender mysteriously absent, by the way. He'll pour drinks for all 5 of you, the 4 of you and 1 for him. And then he'll put them on the bar, and then he'll take up his cup and he'll say, I do not need to tell you how much you've done. It is, I'm sure that you know, but I will say this. Triumvirate aside, revolution aside, it is rare to meet people with characters such as yours, people who give so much and ask so little in return. I am proud to count all of you as friends. And with that, he'll raise his cup.
Who goes, here, as he like bends his arm at 90 degrees up and pours it on himself.
Xavier simply say, I would have had the words, but you took them all. And he'll clink the glass with him and take a drink underneath his hood.
Isaac will
All
take
right.
a drink as well.
Okay. Talavac just raises the cup up and then puts it back down silently.
Probably
Yes,
mumbling,
it's
being like, I
weird.
can't drink. I can't wait to leave so I can be me.
I can't drink this shit.
Mhm.
And then with that, Adolin will say he'll take a big chug and then he'll shake his head and he'll say, well, I have to heal first, but as far as I'm concerned, the revolution's just begun, and with your vision, I now know we'll win. Safe
Are-
travels.
Speaking of, are you sure you don't want help with the healing thing? I mean, I can't bring your eye back, but
He pauses for a moment and then goes, oh dear, yes, please. I try and act tough, of course, but oh, it hurts so much.
this'll take a few minutes, guys. And
His good eye actually
Bugs.
starts weeping.
Hmm?
I said his good eye actually starts weeping. You would know from your time there. There's no such things in this village as like anesthetics.
No,
or
no, there
painkillers.
isn't. Isaac is gonna start with dead in pain.
All right, we can just narratively cover the time. Just let me know what you want to do, and then just mark off the ISP.
All right, dead in pain first. Then I want to psychic diagnosis. So
Okay,
roll
you'll find that it
2d4.
looks like some sort of explosion or something. Oh no, we can just narrative that part.
So his eye is
there's-
obviously gone.
Yes, his eye. You can tell actually from the diagnosis, his eye has been melted.
Ugh.
Yeah. The skin around it is badly 3rd-degree burned. It looks as if the side of his face caught an explosion.
Ah. Okay. Is there any shrapnel or anything that I need to worry about?
No shrapnel, just the burns and
Okay.
the missing eye socket thing.
Then I'll just use a few healing touches. Let's say 3.
Okay.
So that'll be 3d8 health points or 6d6 SDC.
Okay. You are able to do this. Now, the healing touch is designed for more, minor wounds and things like that.
Yeah.
This can heal it, but it can't heal everything back to the way it was, if that makes sense. What you do is
Really?
you heal most of the... Well, yes, because here's the thing. Here's my take on it. The healing is designed to heal small bullet wounds and cuts and things like that.
Yeah, surface
Burns
stuff.
are incredibly nasty wounds to heal because the skin has been cooked. But let me
True.
finish. I'm not saying that you can't heal him. What happens is you heal him completely with the exception of white spidering scar lines. So it almost looks like white lightning bolts, I guess, of scar tissue.
Mhm.
Run over where where that side of the face is. So almost like a small, very thin, fine spider web of scars down the left side of his face. But
Okay.
other than that, the rest of the skin is fresh and pink as it's newly healed, and he tells you that he feels no pain.
Sweet. The
He
the
is he. Mhm.
the reason why I asked really is because if I remember correctly, healing touch does not. Oh no, it can. It can leave scars. Never mind. It is able to instantly heal cuts, burns, bruises, or other physical wounds, but this is pretty major. So
Yeah, this is because, and the way I look at it is, third degree burns are really really nasty things, and
yeah.
it's magic and it's healing, and basically it's still you healed him in a matter of minutes, which is amazing. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's gonna leave some scars.
Cool.
But still, and you would know this, still far better than any kind of treatment he could get here. Without your help, his face would have been. I mean, you've seen what a burn victim looks like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this is much improved on that. In fact, I don't know, some like he could still have a rugged sort of handsomeness. You know how some scars make you look better.
Yeah. Chicks dig
Well, I don't
scars.
know, the sunken eye though, that's still a bit of
Yeah.
a thing.
He needs to get a glass one.
Eye patch, indeed.
Or an eye
Yeah.
patch, yeah.
All right. So he is grateful again. We'll just narrative that he is internally grateful and promises to pay back your kindness by winning a better future for Siren. And with that, he will acknowledge that you guys need to go, and tell you safe travels and go lay back down as the healing has made him quite tired. It's the relief of pain has made him quite tired.
Yes.
With that, is there anything else anyone wants to do in Baker's Village?
Nope, I'm good.
I don't think so.
Okay. Lucas?
Lucas is too tired to check up on anybody.
Got it. The only thing is, as you guys are leaving, you do notice the work is still continuing. However, there are now chattering teeth walking around, following people. You see a small little girl with a doll with a multicolored handkerchief chasing and laughing after a chattering teeth. But other than that, you guys are waved to as the village bids you farewell, and you're able to climb back into your van. And so you climb back into your van. And, Levine is there snoring.
Great. Good.
And with that, you're able to take the 8-hour journey back to the second chance. Can someone roll me a 1d100, please?
I'll do it.
Got it, you
Did
did
it.
it. Good. Okay. Hang on, let me look. Okay. The journey takes a little bit longer than expected. About halfway through the journey, about 4 hours into it, a storm lights up around you, and you have to stop the van, much like on your journey here, actually. You stop the van, and the weight of the van and everything in it is more than enough to keep it on the ground. But for a good 40 minutes or so, the van is violently shooken by waves and wind and blown by dust. And at the highest point of the storm, you do hear those strange calls again. But within about, like I said, 45 minutes, the storm starts to subside. And in a matter of 5 minutes, the storm pretty much completely dissipates. And you're able to continue on your way again. Luckily,
Yeah,
on the
sweet.
trip, you don't run into any nasty Palladians, or you see a couple in the distance that are the same kind that destroyed that truck on your way here. The one that's about the size of a car. It looks different than the ones you met at the cave. It is a very different species. It looks quicker, faster, but they're off in a distance on a ridge line somewhere, and they don't seem to give you any trouble. And with that, as shortly after nightfall, around 9 p.m. at night or so, you approach the rocky crag that you have hidden the second chance in. And it is a rare night on Siren that the cloud cover is light enough after the storm that you see moonlight. And it's a yellowish moon. And it's much bigger than many of the moons you say the moon on, spoiler, or at a game on Earth. It's about 3 times the size of that moon. And the light of it is actually about twice the light that you would see in a full moon. So it's not hard at all to see your way as you drive up to the where the second chance is hidden. And as you approach it from a distance, you are able to see just how well of a job you guys did disguising it. If you didn't know where the second chance was, you could have driven right past it.
Well, hot damn. Well done.
Groovy. Good. Awesome.
As you drive up towards it, you do see 2 figures outside the ship. The ramp has been lowered, and you see I'm sorry, Burn, your horse's name, I forgot.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, thank you. You see Quicksilver sitting down, actually like laying down like how a horse lays down, and you see Heart on her belly with her legs kicked up, and it looks like she's doodling something in the dirt. And then as your van pulls up, I take it you pull up to the ship itself?
Yes.
Yes, all right. As you pull up, she stands up, brushes off her overalls, and runs up to the front of the van, jumps up onto the hood to the windshield, presses her face against the windshield, and she says, "I was so bored."
Well, I got good news. You're going to have plenty to do now to keep your hands full, because we got the components that you needed.
She claps her hands and slides down the side of the van, opens the door, and throws her arms around Xavier.
Oh boy. I'll give her a pat on the back of the head.
She nods and she says, "I thought you were going to be gone like a day or 2. I was worried."
You, Heart. I'm gonna push her back a little bit with her shoulders and put my hands on her shoulders and say, "You tell us to look for a circuit board, gold, and the precious gem. Look around you," and he'll point to the endless wasteland desert. "Do you think, the gem circuit board and gold store was just a day's travel away?"
She looks at you with what can only be described as pure honesty, and she says, "Boss, things I've seen you guys do, I guess I just imagined you'd be fast."
Well, I'm sorry for disappointing, but we're here now. You are no longer bored, and there's probably someone you should meet.
She nods and she goes, "Oh, someone new?"
Mm-hmm. Very new. A local. The individual who owns the gem that we need so badly. Her name is Levine, and she's sleeping in the back of the van.
Hart rushes around the back of the van, throws the doors open, takes a look around, says, "Hi, Isaac. Hi, Talavac. Hi, Lucas." Jumps up, goes to the new lady and says, "Hi, local. I'm Hart."
There's also a robot there.
Yeah.
In one
Yeah,
of the seats.
that's true. Well, I think I would imagine the robot's just laying. Oh yeah, on the seat next to you. Levine keeps snoring though, and with that, she says, "So you got everything? You got all the components?"
And a bonus round as Lucas creaks his back up. You hear a snapping sound as he does one jerk forward and then looks like he's wide awake again. Okay. So we got everything and this guy as he rattles the robot back and forth.
She she puts on her goggles from her forehead. She puts them onto her eyes and kind of turns them a little bit, and you hear like a whirling electronic sound as she starts looking at it. And then she goes, "Oh, he's seen better days. Is this a T86 model? Where did you find a T86 model? This belongs in a museum."
So we found a cave where this robot told us to fix the weather here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And she touches the robot. She goes, "Oh, completely dead. I wonder if I hooked him up to the nuclear power supply. No, he's too shot. I'm sorry, there's some data in him, but this is basically a paperweight."
Oh yeah, no, that we need the data for this.
Yeah, we need the data because that's what we need to use to turn on the terraformer machine. Wait, no. That's what we need to use to reprogram the terraformer machine so that it doesn't drain all of the blue line thing.
The
I'm tired.
energy from a ley line.
Yeah, that.
Right. That sounds very impressive. Well, she kind of rubs her hands together. Got the stuff? Can I fix things? Maybe we should go inside. Can't see anything out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and lay down.
I'm surprised you didn't sleep on the way.
That would have been a good idea.
Oh, excuse me.
Is it safe to say Xavier would drive the van up the ramp?
That is definitely safe to say. It's also safe to say washroom. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
So we can handle this a bit narratively. Quicksilver would come back in and he would follow Isaac to his room talking about Wishbone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And how he saw every episode and he marathoned the whole thing. And did you know this? And Wishbone was that. And
they went to the Middle Ages, and it was great. And they did this, and Wishbone shot a bow and arrow, and I'm glad you liked it.
Lucas,
I'll try and get you more.
You see Hart poking Levine as if she's not sure what to do with her. She turns to you and goes, "What do we do with the local?"
She said she wanted to rest. She got as much as I did, which was a while, I think. How long was I out?
I'm back.
Okay. Hart goes, "I don't know, Lucas. I was here."
Isaac, how long was I out?
Isaac's already left.
Was I out?
Talavac with 9 hours. Did Lucas sleep through the storm?
I think he would have opened up an eye when everything stopped.
Okay.
And just hear like the rattling and things like that and go, "Fuck out of the storm. By the power of this shuriken." Stop it. As he goes back to sleep.
All right. Talavac would let you know 9 hours. And then Hart would say, "Look, boss, she looks sleepy. Should we just leave her here or put her in a bed or?"
Well, it's been around 9 hours, so let's try to wake her up.
All right.
Weird, because we got her in the morning. How long did she sleep?
Hart nods and then smacks Levine.
Whoa.
And she goes, hey, local. And Levine like jumps awake and she goes, what? Oh.
Weird.
Young lady. You hear a pause. She looks at Lucas and you hear her say, "Young lady, you are in my personal space." And Hart goes, "Uh-huh. Kindly not." And she like pushes Hart back with her cane. And then Hart goes, "Hi, I'm Hart." And then they have a conversation where they introduce themselves, and she says, and then she turns to Lucas and she says, "So where are we?"
Well, you're an explorer, aren't you? Why don't we find out together? Adventurer, that's what you said you were.
She nods and slowly crawls out of the van. In the bay where the van is, she can see the ramp that leads down outside and the lights of the ship inside. And she just starts looking around. And she goes, "This is the cleanest house I've ever seen."
Hmm. You know what? Me too. Lucas looks around.
Is this all made out of metal? No stone walls?
Hart?
Hart begins going into the technical details. This is actually a golden tip titling and training in alloy designed to stand out. And basically, she just starts talking techno talk. And Levine looks at her and goes, "I see. So where are we?" And she goes, "Oh, you're on second chance." "What's the second chance?" "That's our spaceship." And Levine's eyes grow really wide. "A spaceship?" Hart like nods, and she goes, "As in," and she points upwards, and Hart nods again. And unless someone stops her, Hart's gonna start talking about how fast the ship can go through space and its light speed travel. She's gonna keep going.
Let her go nuts.
Okay. Hart will gush about her favorite ship, the Second Chance, and how fast it is, and how it can make it from center to frontier in this many weeks, and it could probably circle the planet in a few hours if we really pushed it to see what it could do in orbit. And Levine, her eyes just grow wider and wider and wider. And then she says, I don't, when you said you would show me someplace beyond Siren, I thought you were speaking metaphorically."
No, literally.
Speaking of Hart, we really need to work on that thing. It's not the biggest time crunch, but we should probably start on this sooner than later.
She nods. Yes, goodies. And she holds out her hands. "Give me goodies."
Oh, let's see. Did you? I don't think I brought. No, I brought the robot.
She's like, yes, robot later. Unless it has a component I need, I will play with it later.
Lucas side glances at the robot.
So here's a question: who has all the items? There is okay. I know Levine has the gem, and well, that'll be something you'll have.
Isaac has the gold in the circuit board.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I have
Isaac,
everything.
You also have the other gem, don't you?
Yeah. What now?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, don't sabotage.
Come at me, bro.
He just turned in to go to sleep.
Yeah. I guess if someone were to mention Isaac has the stuff, Hart will go zipping down the hall. And
no, I'm getting it.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Then someone would mention the gem, I assume.
Yeah, we would probably go like, all right, I think Isaac has majority of them. This lady has the gem, I think, that we need. I'll be back. as Lucas dashes off at a fairly high pace.
Hart just turns and looks at Levine expectantly with her hands out. This goes on for about 30 seconds. Levine goes, Thedo, I believe your name was?
Yes.
I'm not sure I follow, and your very young and energetic friend is asking for something. Am I to understand you need my gem?
Oh, correct. That we need it to fix our spaceship.
Heart like flexes her fingers in the give me motion with a smile on her face as Xavier says that. And Levine goes, I see, that wasn't quite the deal we had, but
Well,
it
you were going
looks...
to give us the gem, were you not? Did you have no intention of giving us the gem?
She shakes her head and she says, no, of course I did, but as I said, I would hold on to it until you showed me such wonders. However, if you need it in order to do so, I can certainly see the issue with that. You
You are
said...
in a spaceship. My name is not Thado. Ask her. He looks over to Hart. What's my name?
Boss?
No. My name is Xavier Anderson.
That too. And Levine looks at Xavier and then says, so let me make sure I understand this.
Uh-huh.
You are from another planet,
Yes.
another place.
Actually, we're all from several different planets, but yes.
Her eyes light up and she says, okay. This, you can have my gem. One question.
Uh-huh.
More of a request, really.
Uh-huh.
She goes back into the ship and comes back from her footlocker. She is holding in one hand the gem and in the other hand a very large satchel. She throws the satchel to your feet and she says, take me to another planet. Drop me off there if you want. I don't care, but let me see it. That's yours, if you do.
Xavier will open up the satchel.
It is a satchel full of stones. And it looks to be thousands. You'd have to count them, but it looks to be thousands of stones.
Xavier, once again, that little jaunty little tune. We're in the money. Dun, 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 dun. Are they glowing? Are any of them glowing?
About half and half.
Oh, Jesus.
Xavier smiles and says, deal.
She nods, and then she places the gem into Hart's waiting fingers, who giggles in glee, and then races off after Lucas. With that, Levine goes, I think I need to sit down somewhere. I probably should have been more thorough with this, but I trust your word. Those aren't officially yours until we get there, but you can hold on to them. Deal?
Sure.
I think
Deal.
I think I need to sit down. Do you have a place I can do so?
We have an entire lounge.
She nods. Which direction?
And he points her towards the smuggler's lounge.
And she'll start crutching off in that direction with a very haunted look on her face.
Okay.
When you count it, Xavier, you'll find out that it is 2,500 stones, half of them glowing. So what would that be? That would be, we'll say, 14.
If it's 2,500 stones, then
It'd be 13 and 12. So 1,300 are glowing, 1,200 are not.
Yes.
Sweet. Me likey.
So that'll be equivalent to 38,000 stones, right? No, 3,800 stones.
I'm confused. What? No,
You
2,500 stones total.
Yes, but the glowing ones count for double.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I don't
38
math good, but yes.
3,800 Non-glowing.
Yes. Yes, sir.
That's, oh my god, that's 19 million.
I
Sweet.
think the glowing ones have a different currency than the non-glowing ones.
They're double. Yeah.
They're just
But he
double.
already factored that in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
they are double. Okay, I
Yes.
thought they were different numbers.
Yeah, it's
No.
it's the strange thing that to her, that's, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it ain't no 19 million credits.
Yep.
So she goes off to sit down. Hart rushes after Lucas. Lucas gets to Isaac's room.
The Isaac. I think he's still in the van. Or
Huh? No, Isaac's gone to his room.
Onto his
then
room
I'm
to
at
sleep.
Isaac's room.
Yeah.
You hear Quicksilver in there chattering away.
Lucas will do a rhythmic knock, and if you don't do much of anything about it, you'll hear the knocks get a bit more elaborate, and you notice that this is getting into some sort of like breakdown song.
As that happens, Hart. Oh, go ahead.
After the first couple, Quicksilver's gonna open the door.
Okay. As the couple of knocks start getting more and more, as time passes and they get more intricate before Quicksilver opens the door, Hart comes rushing down the hallway and like jumps onto Lucas's back like a piggyback ride.
Lucas is going to continue his knocking. He's okay with it.
Unfazed. Yeah. All right. Quicksilver will open the door.
Yes, hello. I am here for the gold and circuit board.
Hart reaches forth a hand, wiggling fingers in the give me fashion.
All right, give me a second. Isaac is gonna get up, go over to the door, and try and squeeze past Quicksilver, who is still talking. And eventually he's gonna just try and shove his face back so he goes into the room so Isaac can stand there.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we've covered it before, but fitting a horse inside Isaac's room does not give him much room for much else.
No, Isaac can
Yeah,
barely breathe.
But yes.
He's gonna hand over the circuit board to Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to reach into his pockets and pull out a whole bunch of gold chains and just shove them at Hart.
Okay, she'll grab them all and she'll nod and she'll go, "This will be good." Anything else? Is anything else you guys got that I need? I mean, I have what I need. Anything else you got that's interesting?
Well, I got something that's interesting, but I'll show it to you later. I need to sleep.
She looks a little crestfallen, but then goes, okay. And then she slides off of Lucas's back.
Actually, you know what? Here. And Isaac is going to reach into his pocket and pull out the gem.
Hart jumps back onto Lucas's back and stretches her arm over Lucas's shoulder again.
Fine. You can touch it, but it's mine. It's mine. And he's going to reach out, still holding on to the gem so that she can touch it.
She touches it, like she looks at you like really, and then she
mine.
touches it, like you said. She just kind of puts her hand on it. The second she does, her eyes, like her pupils dilate, and her eyes widen, and she slides off of Lucas's back and drops everything and goes, whoa, and she starts like scrubbing her hands on her pants, and she's like, what is that?
I don't know, but down in the catacombs where we found this and the robot, we encountered, well, that robot had the mind of a techno-wizard called Cathor. And it seems like he poured his PPE at the very least, and maybe part of his mind into this. So it's mine.
No. Look, I've felt PPE batteries before. She like scrubs her hands on the pens again. Can I see it for a second?
No, it's mine.
I'll give it back, boss.
He's going to stare at her as he goes and reaches for her to grab it.
She takes it in her hands and closes her eyes. And after a moment, she begins talking with her eyes closed. And she says, "It's so complex. There's circuit boards in here, tiny. There's energy, but my God." Her eyes pop open. This thing, it takes the energy that Lucas uses, I guess, for spells, and and for you to use for, and I use for what I do, and it
I call them
converts it.
fun points.
She nods and she says, "It takes fun points." I think it starts a nuclear fusion with them. It converts them into conventional energy sources.
Interesting.
No, amazing. I've never seen anything like this. You could power almost anything with this. If you properly converted and put a house, you could. The things I could do to second chance. Can we use this one? Can we use this one, Isaac?
No,
Isaac,
no, 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 no,
can we use
no,
this one?
no. Hold on.
She starts dancing from foot to foot.
That needs to be used to bring the... Oh, what is it called? The terraforming machine back from...
Ley line terraform machine.
Yeah, the terraforming machine is currently in a different dimension in the same place that it is hovering above the Golden City. That, once we get back down to the tomb of the Techno-wizard, is going to start a chain reaction which pulls it back into this reality, which is why we need you to get that code that's in that robot, so that we can beam it onto the terraformer so that it causes a chain reaction so that the weather on this planet is fixed.
And then?
And then it's ours. We can after maybe we can put it in the ship. Okay? Maybe.
She gives this like kind of squeal,
After...
and she says, boss, imagine. This is like a second power source. Imagine someone taking out all of the power of the ship and still being able to power our engines. Imagine being able to divert an entire second nuclear generator to any part of the ship.
Whoa. That's kind of
This
cool.
thing, what I am holding in my hand, is a rechargeable nuclear power source.
Damn. That is really
And she
cool.
goes, and it's incredibly complex, and I am way too sensitive, and I am going to put this back in your hands now. And she kind of like
Yes.
reaches over and puts it back in Isaac's hands.
Thank you. Actually, that made me think of something. This is a power source, right?
She nods.
If we were to be able to, because we were kind of thinking of taking you down into the Techno-wizard's catacombs place, to look for some kind of holographic projector. If you were to look at that technology that is pushing the terraformer into a different dimension, wouldn't it be neat if we could like have some kind of subsystem on the second chance to push us into a second dimension for a little bit?
You mean phase technology?
I guess that's what I'm describing. I've never dealt with it.
Well, she kind of gets uncomfortable. Look, boss, you show me a machine, give me about 30 minutes, and I could probably duplicate it for you. But as far as I know, phase technology requires melding of fun points. It's techno-wizard stuff. I've got some abilities, but I'm no techno-wizard, boss.
Oh.
Lucas spends forward. Just so you know, I'm not a techno-wizard.
Yeah, neither am I. Techno-wizards are cool, though. They can do neat things with magic and technology. Anyways, I'm tired.
Her kind of harumphs as she goes, I can do neat things too.
Well, yeah.
And she picks up the golden chains and the circuit board and
Go
walks out of the room.
go fix the Starlock. I'll see you guys in a bit.
You hear, it's the second chance now. Did you notice the mane? She walks away.
Great. I still like Starlock. Anyway.
So,
Hmm?
no, I was going to say, so if you guys want, we can pull back into a narrative space as Hart begins to repair the ship.
Sure. After about 10
She'll-
minutes,
Works for me.
Isaac is gonna kick Quicksilver out of his room after 10 minutes because he really does need to get some sleep.
He doesn't stop talking either.
Yeah.
All right. Hart will let you guys know that she very proudly proclaims that normally it would take about 2 to 3 days to fix it. She'll fix it in 1.
Sweet.
Oh, fantastic.
So we have a bit of a time skip of 24 hours or so. Hart has the materials. She's gonna be able to melt down the metal and form it how she needs. I mean, she's this is her field. She's got this. Now that you have the items she needs, she is gone to work with gusto. You guys have about 24 hours, give or take, to do what you would like to do. She lets you know that she said give her a day and the ship will be operational.
First thing I'm going to do is enjoy the concept of having a goddamn nice, warm, hot shower. Other than that, I have no idea.
Lucas will definitely be in that line as well.
Well,
All right.
after Isaac takes a nap, he is going to feel extremely guilty and is going to take Quicksilver for a bit of a ride. Not too far off from the second chance, but just tool around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Quicksilver, much like a horse that hasn't been taken out in a long time, runs very energetically. It's not hard to control him. He's not a real horse, but he continuously asks to let me go, just let me go, just let me run.
No.
He doesn't.
Okay.
He never disobeys, but he does ask.
Yeah, he will ask every time Isaac will say, "If we find a place on the way back to center, you can run as much as you want. But now it's dangerous, so just, stick with me, okay?"
At that, he'll stop asking and start going a little bit slower.
Okay.
The mention of dangerous.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Sorry, Lucas.
Lucas, of course, after shower and things, will actually go and meet up with the elderly lady.
Levine.
Levine.
You find Levine sitting in the smuggler's lounge, and she's got a vacant stare on her eyes.
Lucas will take a seat. Where is she on this? Because I wanted to be on another side of the.
Here, let me throw you guys over to the second chance real quick, and then I can show you.
Okay.
God, we haven't been here for forever.
I know, right? Here, have tables. You have bed. So we'd say she's leaning back against a bed. It's got a bed with the back set up, and she's just kind of laying against it.
Lucas will the side of her, not hovering over her, but to the next bed over, and plop himself down with a raggedy piece of paper in his hand. He'll kind of make a relaxing sound and flick the paper so it's good in view, and just start reading it next to her, not out loud, just
okay.
to himself.
After some time, you'll hear her say, "What's it like out there?" And she just points upwards.
Well, it depends on where you go. But it's all different experiences, really. You're gonna have to trust me on that one. They're all different.
She nods and she says, "I'm terrified. But what adventure isn't, right? I mean,
You're telling me? Holy crap. I don't think I've actually faced down something that big in 2 years? Shoot.
not that long, huh?"
Trust me, it's an exciting place no matter where you go. And this crew, whew, they got me here, didn't they? Oh, jeez.
I am trying to, take it all in. A lot of people here, I guess you're not from here. A lot of people here would look at this place and think it's evil. I never much had use for technology. Studied magic mostly, but
Just
But
between
this-
us, same. I'm not particularly too fond of the whole circuitry and I usually just stick to what I know best. And he like wiggles the piece of paper at her.
she nods and she says, "Those teeth were interesting. Your own creation?"
Actually, that was one of the few spells I didn't create on my own. As he furrows his brow. Speaking of, you got a few of your own. Are they just item based, or did you self-taught those?
Well, I had a teacher way back when, but I got kind of kicked out. See, my spells tend to be unconventional, I suppose is what you would say.
I don't think I was ever kicked out of things, but unconventional, that's my kind of magic.
She nods and give me a second. She wiggles her fingers and all right, hang on, give me a second. Crap, I lost it. I had it and then I lost it all.
You had, but you didn't have it.
I had it, but I didn't have it. Give me a sec. She wiggles her fingers and she opens her hands and she speaks some words and she kind of puts her hands together, cup-like, and the hands begin to fill up with what look like glass marbles.
Well, that's pretty good.
She looks at you and then she kind of scoops it over to one hand, picks one up, bounces it on the ground, catches it again, right?
Mhm.
And then throws it at you. And when it hits you, it instantly turns into water.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
She shrugs. She says, "I always thought the spells that were taught here were just too boring."
Telling me this one is to spoil consciousness, just like thought in general. And there was like one to spoil food, sleep. It's just spoiling things. What's the fun in that? She like rustles the paper more.
She nods and she says, "See, that's exactly what I think. if you're gonna use magic, this amazing skill that can do anything you set your mind to, make it, I don't know, bizarre, fascinating, interesting, so that when you cast a spell, they never forget it. That's what I thought.
Oh, I'm so close to. As he stops and he actually starts staring forward, he goes, "There's been one spell I've yet to actually get my hands on, but I think there might be something to actually." Hold on, as he gets up and he goes over to. Oh, Isaac's outside.
Yeah, Isaac's in the bedroom.
Oh, I think, is he out? No, he was taking a ride around with them. Or
Oh yeah, that's right. He's on the horse. Never mind.
he goes to his room and sees like down at the lounge after a bit. I need to get out of that crystal. Well, maybe later.
She nods and she says, "Look, you're still young. You got a lot to learn, and if those clacking teeth are any indication, you've got a lot of talent. I don't know how long it takes to get to wherever I'm going, but I could teach you a thing or two if you want."
Yes. As he like puts down the piece of paper. I'd freaking, if anything, I want to learn interesting spells. Oh man, there's one I really want. I keep seeing in stores, but whenever I have enough money, it keeps getting sold out. There's one that has something to do with alarm systems and eggs, and I want it. And I want it.
Eggs?
Eggs! Alarm system with eggs. It's fantastic. I want to hug whoever made that.
She grins a toothy grin at you, and she says, "Well, I don't know much about that, but I found that anytime I teach my spells to anyone who's interested enough in learning them, the thing about my magic is it's a little bit different for everyone. I suppose each person's personality, teaching style, however you want to say it, makes each spell a little bit different. I'll teach you what I know, but I can't guarantee it'll be exactly what you think. But I can guarantee you it will be amazing."
Even better. As Lucas grins even more. Oh, there's been too many times where somebody's handed me spells, and I had to almost completely rewrite them to something that was even. Too many people have restrictions on spells. Like, they need to control how much is going out and things like that. If you just get almost the raw essence of the spell, you don't need to use as much. It's more effective. It's fantastic.
She nods knowingly and a little sadly, like she knows what you mean. And she says, "Well, I still need some time to accept all this, but I'll teach you a few new tricks."
I would be more than happy.
She smiles. With that, is everyone good? This is a pretty decent stopping place.
Sure.
If you guys are all good,
Works
kind of
for
stopping here.
me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give you guys a chance to figure out exactly what your next step is from here. And then next week we'll have David back, mindedly sitting in his room with the sword on his knees for pretty much the entire day.
What a weird.
Says you.
Says Lucas.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll
As
end
he
here and
slips into his Splagorth sexy cosplay.
Oh God, no.
I forgot about the sexy Splagor.
All right, so we'll go ahead and stop here. Next week we'll pick it back up, and
Yeah.
save
Dave
the
will be
planet
with
and
us.
all that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
You guys have a terraforming machine to terraform.
Yes.
Sure do.
Mm. All right.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.